Earthling rock stars. I'm Melanie France, and this is Hot Tea for the Soul. This is the Earth reading. So you either have a lot of Earth element in your charts, or you have maybe looking at the practical material world, and you want some a little bit of advice on that. Cool. So I've been doing readings for about 25 years. If you are after a personal reading, I've got a few different ways that I can do it. I really love doing like pics and clips. I like to do these, like 10 pictures of the building and doing the voice clips so that you can actually replay it and then you can sort of work it and see it. So if you don't want to have like a hookup, we can actually do it so that you got a private message straight to you. So we're in Australia Day week here in the here in Australia, not Southern Hemisphere. Australia. Nobody else really cares outside of that, really. But it's our day, and it's contentious, right? My blood right now, everybody wants to talk about my blood, and it's really sickening. Anyway, got my own point of view in a different place on that. So I'm going to not get involved that today, because I'm going to add the dream times and the wildlife and my Australian wildflower cards, right? Because I love it. And so that's a little bit of storytelling I'm going to do, and then we're going to do a Greenwood reading, and then we're going to do the individual star signs. So let's draw a few cards and see what we get. From the Dreamtime reading card straight up, let's go. What do we got from the ancestors? What do we got from the ancestors this week for the Earth peeps? Lightning change. All right, when you're having lightning change, you have to be careful that you are not taking this force and applying it to other people, right? You're not to abuse your power, right? But lightning change comes, and when it does, it breaks us away. It breaks everything away. It's like, it really is illuminating, but it's fast, it's quick, and it really will affect those areas of your life that you shouldn't, and make change and really bring a new energy into your life, right? So you can expect that this is going to bring, this is an energy that something is happening. There is going to be movement. You will always be left with your foundations, but this is saying something swift is coming, Earth peeps. Maybe it's been a change in how you think recently, all right? But bang, life is changing. There it is. If you want change, that's what that card says this week. All right, what else we got? So wildflower. Oh, wildflower. Oh, the Australian Banksia. So we got enthusiasm to go with it. All right, the Banksia. The orange Banksia? Did it say orange Banksia? Correct. Yeah, just saw it. Saw it flash by. Elemento. Orange Banksia. Let's read. That's what it says. Enthusiasm. Alright. Orange actually released nervous tension, believe it or not. I feel less nervous today. I'm going to go for a swim also. But here we are. The orange Banksia. So, do what you love is the message here. A new enthusiasm is needed. So you're going to break away, change, and a new enthusiasm is needed. You are the only one who can make it happen. If there is failure or stagnation, it will only be due to a lack of enthusiasm from those involved. By instilling a new verse, going back into the essence of the heart of the matter, you will have the tools to begin again. Something needs to be shaken up, dusted off, and there is energy here for education, improving skills, undertaking new projects, and involved learning. The challenge of the orange Banksia is lethargy and cynical thinking. You may find that over-enthusiasm of others annoys or distracts you too. As a healer, orange Banksia is a big dose of enthusiasm that renews your drive for life. Right. So, I sort of get this. It's like I need to do business stuff, like business courses to go along with what I've been developing this year. It's all good and well to say I really want something, but I need to have the keys and the administrative and the set up for the finances and stuff. And so it's like I have to be enthusiastic. If nobody's going to do it other than me, right? And so you've got to put it in. If you don't put it in, you don't make them. Only you can make the change that you want, right? And it's time to take it on with a bit of enthusiasm. If you sit on the back foot, you're not going to get anything from it. All right? Help yourself. That's what this is saying. And don't be nervous. Take it on with enthusiasm. Work it out. Work out the things that you need to take action on this week. Don't back up on it. Don't go, I can't get a job. I can't get I'm cynical. I'm not going to get into the industry I want, or I got to do this. Take it on with enthusiasm. It'll all work it out. The universe has got your back, right? You put the energy out there. It's sort of going to try to work you into that area. It's probably going to reject you from going back into something that you're not meant to do either, right? So, make the change, lightning energy, because it's going to happen. Take it with enthusiasm, right? Take it on. This is a orange Banksia says, bring it on, right? Like my nephew at the beach, he's like looking at the surf saying, "Brilliant!" You're a hilarious kid. I have got, let's go heart and soul deck, because I really love getting a little bit of heart and soul in the matter. What have we got? All right, Earth peeps. I did these readings a little bit late, been busy leading up, had a new housemate. I had to move the whole station. This whole thing has been rearranged from upstairs to downstairs. We're in my dungeon. So Earth peeps, what have we got? Oh, this is sort of bonding. All right. Passion reignites. Within the flawless pattern of each soul, you discover inner peace. Each other's soul, you discovered inner peace. You are caressed by the other's love that unfolds as endless blessings. Place no restrictions on one another. Be firmly grounded in each other's soil. But allow enough space for your branches to sway freely so that you may be able to dance the song of your own spirit. This is together. This is working together and working out how to grow together and working out, you know, that you can still be your free being and still work together with your passion and you know, working out each other's patterns. Right, to get a little bit of inner peace, you can work together, caress each other's love. All right, that's sort of really beautiful. Okay, so new enthusiasm. It could be new enthusiasm for a relationship, and it's like, don't back up on that, right? Don't back up on not working out and how to be yourself inside of that relationship. I think sometimes it's really easy to really get involved on a deep level that's like, you know, that you spend all the time with this person and you stop being yourself. That card is saying have enthusiasm for change, but also make sure you stay yourself inside of relationships. While you love that other person and you leave them room to grow, make sure that you've got room to grow your branches as well. Together. Apart together. Together apart. Two people creating one energy and another energy outside themselves, but stay your being and be really, you know, be enthusiastic. There's change. This is good. I like this. Earth peeps. We don't like things smashing around, but I'm a bit chaos driven some days, so apparently, a bit Capricorn, like a bit of chaos. So what else have we got? The Earth, magic. Let's go Earth magic. Earth magic. Earth magic, come on, for the Earth peeps, what do we got? Oh, I'm starting to warm up at my basement. Focus, pad 1. Actually, this has come up on repeat on actually each one of these readings. Each element, if you walked back, would be talking about focus and really focusing on change with enthusiasm and really moving forward. We've got the crystals here, so this is really aligning with, you know, those really earthy, magical things, those elements that were drawn. I actually got some, believe it, I got some crystal essence from Mr. Vitamins, poppies. It's really actually pretty cool. There's citron, which you can put under your tongue, and those crystals literally, like, and the essence of that, whatever they got in there, the essence of the citron is about happiness and creating a bit of happiness. So I got a mind, body and soul one the other day, which is a combination of everything. But look, here, working with our crystals, really focusing in, honing in on that energy, that healing energy. There's a lot of amethyst in that picture, you can see. All right. She's really conductive. All right, so, and last but not least, before we get into the Greenwood reading, is one from the Archetypes deck, because I like it. It's different. It throws a different light. We're not one person. Sometimes we stand up here in the mountain, right, and we're looking after ourselves. But here, we're the village. And this is really sharing your love with the village, really connecting with your people, knowing that you might go into study, you know, connecting with people, and being part of the village. Push yourself forward with enthusiasm so you're part of that circle of life in there. It's always been a village that raises a child. It's never been one or two people. We're not mountains isolated. We are actually part of a system, and this is sort of saying, reach out. If you're having trouble, reach out to your friends. Really step out and start taking on some community stuff, and it might be that it's time for you to take a broader light at yourself and really work with the community so you can achieve your goals. All right, we're all part of a village. We've got a global village. All right, got a global village. So I'm going to do a Greenwood reading for you. I'm going to put this down on my busy table because I didn't put one of the mats down each time so far. Mum says it's busy, but and it is, but we'll work with it today. So this first card is your present state. We go on to your spiritual mediator, and the spiritual mediator is your next meditative energy. It's the next energy surrounding you to work with, and then we'll go conscious and your driving thought and your subconscious challenge. Let's go, right? And after that, I'm going to do the individual read. So thank you if you're still here, and I'll get back to you in your individual. Say hi again. All right, so no, well, let's kick on. All right. Until these aren't scripted. Alright, it's actually sort of impossible to script these. Okay, I can have an idea, but no, I actually can't. It changes. Alright, so, first card, present state for the Earth peeps this week. What do we got? Oh, the moon. Alright, so we've got a full moon in there, which can be about completion, but this is very dreamy, fertile, bog sort of energy. Sometimes we can get bogged down in our notions inside of this, but it's really this incandescent light that casts this light over the, and it gives you a dreamy energy to really take a stock of your dreams and really work with this. And it can be, it's a really fertile energy. A lot of cards say that it's black and white, you know, but for me, I see this incandescence where you get a, you know, the reason that people are, they want the sun to shine, or we want this driven light that we follow this pole star. That's not what this is. This is this really nice, warm, boggy thing that we work out what our emotions and our dreams are in. Okay. Alright. So got to be careful not to get bogged down in that energy, because that actually could create the lethargy that is the problem for the banks here and there, really. Alright, so we're going to have this as our spiritual mediator. So this is communicating yourself. This could be the King of Arrows, which is an air element man. Usually king is over 35, depending on when a man matures. Really? And this is really about like taking on that, you know, communication, being the king of communication. This is usually the just king, as in he is looking for fair contracts, and his fairness he is really great. And in his worst tones, he's really stabby with his words and doesn't take responsibility for them. But this is a king that actually really is really expressing himself. So you might find that you're expressing your dreams, expressing your emotions, expressing your change. And that you really, and that enthusiasm, but this is an expression, and it's really taking that energy. It might be contracts, it might be really taking on this really masculine, like, you know, when we talk about the feminine communication on this, with the Queen, we're talking about her expressing herself with love at her best, or bitterness. This goes a little bit, it's not the feminine, he's the masculine of that, and it should be mature communications in there. All right, mature communications of this dreamy matter. Maybe you're able to make an idea out of that and formulate your plan. All right, formulate your plan for this with this enthusiasm to move forward. All right, what have we got here in the conscious will? The Knight. So this is that communication, and you consciously, this is the king is like you saying, I need to put this out here. This is, I'm putting it out here, pacing it, and I'm gonna. This Knight is like, I'm putting it out there. This is again communications. They're coming, they're falling on the table together, one after the other. So this may be, you know, even though you're thinking about everything very maturely, that you're going to lighten it up and communicate a little bit more about a direct marketing, this could be somebody in your life that might be able to help you in your communications and be able to help you move forward on an issue that you've got sitting there. But this is really being direct communication, and it's not really taking any shit. This guy's not taking any shit. He's got a sword in his hand. It's always the way, right? But, yeah, how do you communicate yourself? You're really going to be putting yourself out there and defending your point of view. Right, defending your point of view. So the driving force, the source of your power is the next card. What have we got? Source of our power is, this is the same as the air people. The lover. So, Earthlings, this is really about getting to the heart. This is, you can see this fertile energy between this green man and the green woman, and this love that they create between them, this third energy. They've got their hand fastened. This is like, you know, this love, this is generated. And so often this is seen as Gemini, and I obviously can't see this as a brother and sister combination in twins personally. But it's about that balance. It's about balance of a masculine, feminine, masculine. That's sort of what that is. Like, and I always find that this is going to be about the lovers. This could be that your mind is on love and a lover that you're missing, or that the drive of your force is where this is going, and might be why you're going to communicate. But this is also your passion. You love you as a lover, and how you are inside the world. And so this could be that you really are putting yourself out there as a lover. You're trying to communicate with the world in love. Like, and really having that energy in your life. So that is your driving force, is to be the lover and express that love, and perhaps have this balance of this loving partner sitting there. And that's where you're communicating. Very good, good. All right. So the next card is the unconscious empathy. So what we're talking about the conscious will here, we're talking about the unconscious empathy. Okay. Ooh. Put that one down there. Put that one there. Now that I've done that, I'm going to put that one there. All right, so I don't do reverse. There's enough light and dark in the deck without it, right? So this is our unconscious empathy. So this is a a triumph card. This is about success. This is about putting in your spirit and your passion and getting over, you know, any battle of power and really respecting your power and your strength and what you've got. This is really moving into this harvest. This is what you put in, you get out. What you reap, you sow. You know that you've put in good energy, that you really are. This is a triumph. And in your heart and in your subconscious, you feel that you've actually made this movement. You really have been battling for things that matter of your passion and your spirit and your drive. And so this feels like a triumph. So deep down inside, you feel like you've actually come a full circle in here. Like, and you might feel this on a spiritual level, that you're in a triumphant position, not a bold, like an egotistical. It's always of the spirit, right? And beautiful, beautiful. We see all those wands in this turned into the soul in the middle in here. It's not battling anybody else. It's not trying to keep our power and keep it enhanced into us. It's actually turning it all in for the community and turning in what your heart and the driving forces are. The challenge is finding fulfillment in all of this, and it's really finding this balance and this, you know. And so sometimes it's not easy just to try to be the lover and put out the love. It's really about spiritual. We take the decisions and we make spiritual decisions along the way, and sometimes we do them by our intuition and our gut. Those are those decisions, and they're those two decisions on the outside. Then we've got that one wand on the inside, that we have these these snakes, our balance of our light and dark, and you know, and making the driving through and finding this to get the fulfillment out of this. You know, you got to take this change and this enthusiasm, and you're working with the village, right? And you're an individual, even with your lover. Right? Finding the focus in the middle of this is how you find your fulfillment. How do you attain your fulfillment? Because that's your challenge, is to make it fulfilling, make a life that's fulfilling. You're communicating your dreams and this fertile love that you have and fertile love that you have here. This is a real challenge, and to balance out our kundalini, balance out our light and our dark. I saw a really good documentary on the snakes over time, and it was like 2 hours long, and it was really comprehensive, because the snakes actually appear in a lot of most of the ancients, and before they become evil, they're actually healing. It's just really interesting. But they're always about passion. They're always about passion, and in the wands, it's always about passion. So this is about your challenge is to back your decisions and respect those decisions, and respect, you know, the balance and create a balance in your life. All right, and the fulfillment. And sometimes that's actually going, and the challenge is to see that you did fulfill things as well. Because you sort of, we double up on the 3 and the 6 just in here. So here we've already got out the healing element. The spark of life. We've got a lot of faith, and we've got a lot of passion going on here, and there's a lot of enthusiasm, lightning. All right, so what the healing element of everything that's going on, and this communications and the love and this fulfillment, is this real spark of life. It's going to, you know, this is this potential energy with this Boda. Really, this is a Kapow card. It's a new beginning. You're going to have a spiritual, passionate new beginning that's going to come out, and that's what's going to heal you. It all comes back to you. All right, might take a little while, but from little things, big things grow, right? All right, so this is the fulfillment from these decisions. We have it here. This is like, and we put that together, we've got a 4, so which is your celebration, is those two things together. So we've got a healing element that really matches the challenge that we have to find fulfillment. Isn't that always a challenge? Right. Last card, before we go into the individual star signs, what's the outcome for the general reading for this week? What's the hot tea outcome for the Earth people? This is the ancestor. This is really following the ancestors. This is learning from your past, knowing that you are some conglomerate of everybody who that was before you to get to you in your blood. You know, and it's really trusting your ancestors, but it's following your guiding light. It's got the pole star in there that says that you've got wish fulfillment if you just follow your path, and that you're going to be protected. And so this is contracts, this can be marriage, it's strength though. There's a strength inside of this card where we really get in contact with our DNA and our ancestors, and we follow our dreams inside of that card, right? So this is real dream following fulfillment, right? You're going to find a direction. This spark of life that maybe you didn't find direction in the dream in here is going to, if you're enthusiastic and you harness it all together and don't back off on it, right? Use this spark for driving. It's going to take you through the darkness, and it's going to find you to following your dreams in a congruent way. Your ancestors are there, and they're in your blood. They're to respect and guide you. All right? You're a survivor, whether you know it or not. So, now I'm going to go into the individual star signs. So, thank you very much for being here still. Taurus. Taurus, what have we got for you this week? All right, so what have we got to add to this for Taurus? All right, this is really exploitation. So this is where the Six of Wands is about your, finding your heart's desires, as in your spirit and your passion. This is really manifestation on the physical plane. This is really making your money. This is really putting yourself into those courses. This is really putting yourself into that, this is making them money, honey. Like it's bees in the trap. It's you being the queen bee. It's like, and you know what? This card is exploitation, and I had a real problem with it when I was being used. And when I realized you could exploit yourself, Taurus, that was a changing point in life. But you'll find yourself busy as a little bee this week. All right, busy little bee, making your life, manifesting what you want in your physical realm. It doesn't actually have to be about money at all. It could be about lifestyle. It could be about friends. It could be different things. Because the world has changed, right? So the world, we knew this, so the world's been changing a bit recently. It always has, but dramatically recently. So this is, what we hold on to and what we let go. When we're talking about new friends, you add new colours to your cloak. All right, you weave that, and when you leave old things and you let them go, it doesn't mean that they weren't part of your picture. They're part of your fabric, and it's sometimes better to let them go before they become this dirty color. So it's like you want to know what you've put in and what you're holding on to and what you're letting go is really important when we're talking about the Wheel of Fortune and change. All right, because sometimes you're on the top, sometimes you're on the bottom. You're not always the best colour in somebody else's life either, and sometimes it's good for you to chop that off so that you're not putting bad colours in their cloak, right? But you want to watch the colours that you're putting in, the threads, and the things that are meaningful in the world, the sun, the moon, everything that is meaningful to you and your heart, and really and expressing that in the world. So it's really a nice, you're moving. This is a manifesting as the world is moving on. You're not holding on to, this is about letting go as well, letting go of some of those things so that you can be enthusiastic, right? Keeping your focus. This is very focused energy there. Taurus, one more card. One more card to Taurus. Let's go with it. Why not? That's your path. It's your path to the divines. At the end, we're going to stand alone in that mirror. And so we know we weave back on ourselves over and over again so we can learn more. And it's like sometimes you've gone into something and it's like you then come back to it years later and learn something in it that you never knew before. You can always add to your knowledge, right? This is about the seasons changing and knowing that we get older and that we change and we're going to regroup and we're going to go back over ourselves to go back into this tree. This tree is obviously linked to the Hermit. It is the tree that the Hermit returns to. The tree is us. A lot of things in this are us, right? But this is like literally the season changes and you know that and you know that. And this is fertile, letting go of old things and really exploiting yourself and making what you actually really want, manifesting in your real world. All right, so this is a big challenge and big journey and big movement has been made. Lightning change, but there is a real manifestation of having a congruent life and following your inner higher self, right? And manifesting and letting go, knowing that you can let go and you can move on and you can change and you can manifest. Well, Taurus, that's big. That's big. Thank you very much for still being here. Love you guys, and I'll catch you next week. That's a hot tea for you. Perfect. So now I have Virgo. Virgo. All right, first card for Virgo. Ooh, so these snakes appear again and again, don't they? Well, I was discussing the healing element of these snakes, but this is passion. This is fertile, this is masculine, like passionate, virile energy. So this is like that real strong, like virile, passionate man. This is, that balance, and this is, yes, sexual and driven, and it's not wishy-washy. It's not sort of player energy. It's driven and it's committed, and that's the sort of energy that this is bringing into your life. So finding this fulfillment is going to bring virility. This could be a person, fire element, dude, king, usually over the age of 35, but this is literally about bringing this passion. So from this challenge of finding fulfillment, you'll find this spark of life because you're actually heading on a congruent path. This is very passionate energy to go with your lovers. We've got 3 folds of the snake sitting in here if we're really looking at it. Right, big. All right, I like this for you, Virgo. All right, so 2 more for Virgo. Oh, it's reflection. A lot is going to change, and our focus is changing, and we're learning we're part of the village, and we're looking back at our lives. And when we look back at this spot in stasis, So passionately moving forward with this card, but this card is actually saying, you know, you got to let go of some of those things. You got to move across the river inside of that boat. You got to reflect on it without being emotionally attached to it. So this is a moment of reflection as you go through all of this to how you got here, right? So really taking it on with enthusiasm, but this is really that moment inside of the transition of it all in this, from your dreams to bringing it into reality, and taking that moment to take stock of that reflection that's brought you to this place is what that is, all right? That brings you to this place. All right, one more for Virgo. Oh, we've got the Fox and the King. This is some sexy ass energy in here, and we've got 2 knights and 2 kings on the table when it comes to you here, Virgo. All right, so you're not just going to be communicating it. You could have 4 men in your life. That's what this is all about. Have fun with that, right? With the Lovers, you've got a lot going on. This could be, but this is sort of player energy as well. So be careful that this, you know, that it isn't player energy, but this is also driven to be, you know, this, the reason that it's seen as a player is it's still searching for what it believes in. That's what the Fox is doing. It's still searching around. It's got its nose in this. It's got its nose in that. Like, and it's really searching for what it believes is what the Fox has got going on inside that. So there's a bit of reflection, but this is really hot stuff. And look, if this is a choice between somebody from the past who's been a player and a king who's really committed, obviously that's a no-brainer. But there's a lot of communication and there's a lot of passion on the table here for you, Virgo, and it's about finding fulfillment. All right, so I really hope that helps. That's really interesting with a lot. You've got 2 kings, a king of air and a king of fire, and a knight of fire and a knight of air. So there's communication, and there's communication of passion, and the Lovers in here. There's a lot of good things that are actually going on in this. Just to have a look and make sure that, you know, you're not, that you've moved on from the player energy. Perhaps maybe that's even you, that you know that and you really want this. All right, so have a reflection on what all of that is for you. Wonderful. Virgo, thank you very much for being here. Love you guys, and I'll catch you on the weekly tea next week. Last but not least, Capricorn's in the house, right? We've just moved out of us into Aquarius. If you want to see the Aquarius vibes, whoa, I've just thrown out our 3 cards of the Capricorns. All right, we've moved to the Aquarius vibes. I've got it sitting in there for everybody. So, Capricorn. We're going to start with this card because I turned it over first. So there are things that you may not know. Not everybody's telling you everything. Sometimes secrets are just by the nature of the design of the situation that you might be in. But this is feeling like you have had your hands tied. This is feeling like you really don't know everything. And sometimes you don't need to know everything. But it's like information or communication has been halted. And it feels like it's not fair. It feels like it's not fair. Whatever the outcome is sitting here. And that's in your mind. It's an arrows thing, but it definitely is sitting in your mind that something's not fair. The scales are not balanced and you're not being communicated with correctly. You're guarded, and that has that you're waiting because you feel blindfolded to it all. But the next card we have on the table is happiness. So even if you don't know everything and you don't know where everything's going to go and you can't intellectualize everything, there's this, your cup's going to feel full. Like the generosity in the world around you is abundance. The love around you is abundant. You know, so you need to work on that focus and work with your village and how you still be you with everybody else so that you can sway with their trees inside of it. This is really finding that fulfillment is going to find you happiness. And there's been an insecurity inside of that situation to that happiness. Let's see what the third card is because we already have it on the table. Capricorn. Oh, so this could be Cancer because it's a Cancer card. But this is real potential energy. This archer really knows their skills. They've got a quiver full of arrows. You know, so the things that you don't know, you've got other things that you do know, right? So you might not know everything about one thing that you want to charge into. But this card's about, you know, taking that potential energy, know that you've learnt your skills, know that you know who you are, that you've got a quiver full of arrows, you've got your companions with you on this. You didn't shave your armpits, which is fantastic. So you're liberated, right? And there's this potential energy, right? For you really to drive into your own world and drive that happiness. This is a real driven, empowered card, you know, and it really is taking that charge that we see with this spark of life and really delving in on this path. So it's like, you know, you might have felt that you're still blindfolded and things weren't a little bit fair, but you're happy and you can drive this somewhere new, Capricorn. Thank you very much for being here. I really hope that helps. Love you guts. I'll catch you with next week on the weekly tea. Ciao.